कहीं तो किस ग्रुप में वही ना सब क्वेश्चन हर की रसम बट क्यों मिशन मीटिंग ये नसन मीटिंग छवाइन तो सुनो क्या पन्ने से कमरस में मैं वो कुछ मास घंटे खंडस में क्या
क्या करो मसला क्या करो करो
Hello, testing. Hello. बस तब एक और hello था लाल मुसद्दिक, पंकज सर, आसिफ सूफी, मुदस्सिर बशीर। ये क्यों ये आसिफ सूफी सर रिप्रेजेंट कर ना पंकज गोस्वामी तो कॉल लगे
Asif Sofi is a member of the board.
क्या उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या उसमें प्रॉब्लम
Muted.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Almighty Allah, the most beneficent and ever merciful. I, the Zohar Ahmed Pampuri, the member secretary of the Board of Studies for the year, wish that you all are keeping fine, and I welcome you all in this meeting. That's 25th Board of Studies meeting. I have a humble request for all the participants that they please put off their videos. You know, we have this connectivity that's 2G. Probably the videos will not support. So please keep your videos off. That's my humble request to all. Except Dean. Dean can remain there with the video. I think I will hand over to Dean for his words of wisdom and his approval for continuing our this meeting. Professor Pal, sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to all members. This meeting, as you know, was to be convened with a short notice because we had already had the Academic Council meeting scheduled for 24th of this month. So within a short span of time, we had to manage these two statutory meetings before we would proceed to the Academic Council meeting. So today, we would have the discussions. The agenda might have been received by the member secretary. I would straight away pass it on to the member secretary for point-wise discussion of the agenda. Dr. Zahoor, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let us start with our deliberations today on our agenda items. Before that, is my screen there? Is it visible to all?
Yeah, it's visible.
Oh, yes, it is clearly visible.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Thank you. So, first of our item will be confirmation of the minutes of 24th meeting of the Board of Studies. There were no comments received from any side, any quarter. So, it's the resolution is placed before the Council for adoption. Resolved that the minutes of 24th meeting of the Board of Studies are confirmed. Are they confirmed? Yes, for the House, please.
Yes.
Yes, we agree.
You agree all? Dean, sir?
Yes.
Confirm, please.
Okay. So we will move ahead then?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. The second will be, this is what I have probably, I made effort just to see, but we have proposed in our first meeting, I mean in 24th, what were the decisions in the Academic Council. I have put it like that here. So in our previous 24th Board of Studies meeting, there were some agenda items that were forwarded to the Faculty of Veterinary and then to the Academic Council. So this is what actually went with those agenda items which we put forth there in our 24th Board of meeting. The first of the item was minimum credit requirement for the FVSc and PhD program regarding. So the Academic Council House that approved the recommendations as item this. So this is resolved in the Academic Council and it has been, accepted what we have proposed at that time. The second item, agenda.
But this, since it stands resolved, why you have kept it here then again?
This is what this is to inform the House what has happened to our, those agendas which we have.
But you have included it as an agenda item here, 24.2. It should not have included as an agenda. It stands already resolved. It stands already accepted by the Academic Council. Approved by
that's what I want to say over here, that most of our members doesn't know when agenda items go ahead, what has happened to those. So that is why I want to refresh that. What has happened?
Okay.
That is there. So 1 year internship program was there. So it was, again, it was resolved by the Honorable Chairman of the Academic Council, that's a VC, desired to have the MOU signed with other institutions, universities outside the state, to provide the rent-free accommodation. So that was their resolve that it should be a rent-free accommodation. then MOU with, then it was further decided that the students shall visit the institutes outside J&K in batches for a period of 1 month only. Each
Okay.
also resolved that faculty for the supervision of the internship program shall be provided through the internal adjustment of the existing faculty. So this was resolved in the academic council. So it is for the information of House that what has been resolved in the academic council to the agenda item which we have already submitted.
Yes, these are the agenda items of 24th meeting.
Yeah, it is written there, BS 24.
Okay.
Yes. Then similarly, there was a change in the this nomenclature of division of animal reproduction, and then again there in the council it was resolved that the present nomenclature of the division of ARGO and veterinary public health shall continue till revised the BSMV committee report is issued by the ICR.
Yeah.
Then one more agenda item, which was reformation of the existing best teacher award score. This agenda was not approved in the board of veterinary faculties. So this agenda, which board of studies had put to the veterinary faculty, board of the veterinary faculty, that was not accepted here. Then similarly, introduction of an undergraduate program in the division of animal biotechnology. Again, it was not approved in the board of veterinary faculty. One more agenda which was put there in our board of studies, previous board of studies, that was PG scholars should be allowed to submit thesis, and then again that went to the academic council and it was resolved in the academic council that the council dropped the item with the direction that RRI be followed. So these were, I mean, the you can say the output of our agenda items which we put forth in our 24th meeting. Right, then we can go ahead with one more agenda. That's really the agenda of this meeting. That's BS3. That's a rotational placement of scientists of veterinary clinical complex to their respective parent divisions, medicine, surgery, and gynae every 3 years. And second point of it is that PG students must be allotted to the scientists of veterinary clinical complex to guide as a major the students from their respective divisions on rotational basis as well as per their seniority. This has been put forward by Dr. Nurul Alam Tofani, Deputy Director of Research. So this is the item, agenda item which is to be deliberated upon. It's open for the House to discuss.
I think rotational placement of the scientists of the veterinary clinical complex to the respective divisions is, I suppose, a very plausible demand. It could be, I suppose,
yes, we do. It is very supporting, yes, because usually in other divisions after 3 years they are changing the head of the divisions of equal cadre available in the division. So I suppose it is plausible to suggest it.
It may not be directly related with the head of the divisions. It is basically the scientists which are basically from the clinical discipline.
Exactly. Yes, that is.
They remain stuck in the veterinary clinical complex. And the second part of it, this particular agenda, is it is very much interlinked with the first A part of it. That is a number of teachers, around 7 are there in veterinary clinical complex. They don't get the students for 7-8 years. They have been there. They have not got the students for guidance. So their APR scores will be definitely affected by that way. So in this case, this first rotational placement of the scientists of the veterinary clinical complex is a justified demand. We should, I suppose, accede to it. If anybody has anything to say about it.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah,
so I'm Dr. Pankaj. Sir, not only for the clinical complex, what I feel regarding the allotment of PG students, actually there should be some rule and regulation for allotment of student to the concerned scientist. Because what happens mostly the head of the division is allotting the students, but there should be some norms and some rules should be there. It is not only related to the clinical complex; it should be followed strictly for all divisions.
Rule for the allotment of the students to the scientists is already there. It's in RRI. So it is in consultation with the concerned the faculty of the division. Head of the division takes a decision to whom the students is assigned. So I suppose there is no need for having a separate rule for that. That is already there. That is inbuilt.
I have a submission over here. I have a submission over here. Yes, in the RRI, it is mentioned there. You can say the qualification of a teacher who can guide a PhD or a MVSc. But there is nowhere written what are the procedures, what are, I mean, in the department, if you have a 3-4 scientists, there is no, I mean, any procedure within the division that should be regulated, that every scientist in the department gets that opportunity to guide the student.
It's very much there. It's very much there.
Only that it should be, say it should have
one person at a time, please.
May I interrupt here?
Yeah.
Actually, as per the RRI, the allotment has to be done by the HOD in consultation with the staff. That is actually a procedure. But none of the, it's virtually that none of the HODs sometimes consult staff. And especially in case of PhD, it is clearly mentioned that even the student should be taken into consideration. We should strictly adhere that the allotment should be done in consultation with all the staff who are allotted. When all the staff will sit together, location, then these grievances will be automatically removed. I think we should adopt that all scientists should sit together, what has been done in all other institutions also. That they should be taken into confidence while allotting a advisor to students.
And students' interest also has to be taken into account.
For PhD, it's clearly mentioned that the students' preference should also be taken into consideration.
That's very right. That's very much. I suppose it's spelled out.
This item has come because of the problem that many of those HODs are not taking the consultation of their staff, or they have their monopoly on that issue. Other thing is there that I have seen in many of the institutes outside the India, they have really they have a procedure that you have there. If you go there and they will say this time this guide is available for you, because already that guide has I mean that teacher or scientist is already having a I mean student last year, so this year this will be available for taking you. Why not in our case that there is a procedure that one of the faculty in the division has taken say this year, so next will be allowed next teacher on next day. Why the same teacher? Why not a procedure there? That's this year this faculty member is available for guiding you, and student will be given I mean that choice who is going to take it.
The suggestion that
please.
What today that it should be allowed. We should frame a policy that there should be clear indication that who has guided so many students, and next those who are not guided, they should be given first preference than those who are not guided.
Exactly.
Suggestion, it should be adopted. And
Exactly, sir. Exactly. That is
there. He has said that division on the rotational basis as well as their seniority.
Yes, that's right.
So it's up to the house what to do with it.
No, I suppose it's not. Basically, as Dr. Sarfaz said, that there's a clear-cut guideline.
Am I audible somewhere?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
There are clear-cut guidelines.
Am I audible somewhere?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mukhdami, sir, you are well there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We do hear you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
I have a little bit of different opinion
Sure, sir.
than what your house this time unilaterally decides.
Not unilaterally, sir.
Yes. Look here. I am of the opinion that everybody from the faculty, from a concerned division must get a student. But there have been certain norms to be observed, one who is in power and one who is not in power. Where was Dr. Sarfaraz that time when 2 gynecology students were allotted to an associate professor, leaving senior most professor aside? Was he taken into the cognitions that time? It is easy to talk, but it's very difficult to swallow this pill. I say students should be given to everybody from the clinical division. Yes, certainly. Yes.
From every division.
From every division. But
every teacher should get equal chance of being the guide of a student. I suppose.
Not only a student. It has a ramification sideway as well. I have got to see that all the columns of the API score of my assistant and associate professors are filled equally. It is not, student is not the only column. There are so many columns as well that need to be addressed for an assistant and an associate professor equally. Once the staff at the clinics gets daily a case, he is going to inflate his API score. How about those divisions who don't get a case of PD in their division, who don't get a case of surgery in their division, who don't get a lab in their division, and instead they are being asked, you come for the roster duty? Does it matter? Suppose I get 5 students, where 5 staff members. Gynecology gets 3 students. There are 3 staff members. Will they first fill up the column of the gynecology student or the clinical student or the clinical staff or gynecology staff? These things have to be rationalized. Once will we rationalize this entire system, there will be no grievance at all, I tell you.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
There are, every time we get, suppose 4 students. Out of 4, at the end of 2 years, 3 get job and only 1 person is left in the division. Should next year we deny our departmental people from getting the student, or we should deviate them to the clinics? A rationale has to be developed. In the event some student leaves in between, what for the next? How the allotment should have, I am not to say university says this, rule says this, that. You have to follow the rule once you are in power and once you are not in power. You have to be same. You have not to change your loyalty.
Excuse me, Dr. Makhdoumi, am I audible?
Yeah, please.
Yes, quite audible, madam. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes. My question is, suppose we have to, in our region, we have professors too, but one professor, he doesn't have a MSc student, MVSc student. Can he guide a PhD student?
You see the rules. What does your RRI say about that?
That many people have done without that. Or
Can you repeat
aside,
your-
you are just talking about the system.
Can you repeat, please?
A student who has not guided MSc students, can he guide a PhD student? A teacher?
A teacher who has not guided
MSc, can he guide PhD?
No. He is supposed to have 2 students guided plus a PhD degree. He should be a strict
Yes. Then only he can guide the PhD.
PhD, yes.
Definitely, ma'am.
Okay.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, this is the
Sir, I'm Dr. Ganai from
please.
Animal
If you go to page number 29 of the RRI, old RRI, the clause 38 says Constitution of Advisory Committee. The major advisor shall be assigned to each postgraduate student by the head of the division, in which the student is registered, in consultation with the postgraduate faculty members of the division. The major advisor shall be from the major discipline of the study of the student in the division regional station and shall be the chairman of the advisory committee. The major advisor shall recommend the constitution of the advisory committee to Dean PG in prescribed manner through the head of the division. So it is basically the head of the division in consultation with the faculty members of the division, and additionally the students' interest may also be taken into cognizance. That is very clear. So it is basically internal matter. It doesn't need any discussions, I suppose.
No. The discussion was just regarding some, they are not giving students to teachers, and teachers
That is again internal. That is again internal, isn't it?
Yeah, that is internal, but where there is a provision, they can go for guiding PhD students. When there is no such criteria, so how can a teacher guide MBSc student?
It's basically the head of the division who has to take the lead. He has to rationalize. He has to make the justice within the faculty members. He has to allot students to everyone, depending upon.
Sir, am I audible somewhere? Sir, am I audible somewhere?
Yeah, please.
Yes, please introduce yourself. I am Dr. Ganai from Animal Nutrition. Sure.
You are sitting in your home.
Sir, ये ऐसा है ये we were 4 teachers in our division.
Right.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Oh, yes, we are hearing.
We are 4 teachers in our division, and we have 2 people in the farmers. One at 2 farmers, sheep farm and cattle farm. I allotted 2 students were their MBA students. I allotted the teachers who were in the division, assistant professors. One teacher completed his students completed degrees. One teacher students both of his advisory completed degrees, whereas other teacher, both the students, they were appointed as VS and in the last month they left.
This is the problem.
Now, in the subsequent year, in the current year, we we have 3 MBA students, to whom I will allot now. Whether I have to allot to the person who is in my division, to whom I allotted 2 students, but they could not complete. They left in the midway.
This is what I told you.
There is grievance of the other who are working in the forum. How I will act? Number 1, this is one point. Number 2, I am placing the notes I am notifying the students that Falana teacher is available to guide you either in the MVSc or PhD. They choose a particular person, and unfortunately is me. They choose a particular person, particularly PhD students. They choose me. Others, उनकी तो grievance आती है, फिर उनको कैसे दे दूंगा? मैं तो उनको बोलता हूँ, फिर लड़कों को मेरे साथ grievance रहती है. आपने हमें नहीं guide किया, तो उसमें कैसे हम करेंगे?
I think this is beyond the scope of.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
This is basically beyond the scope of this meeting particularly. I suppose it has to be discussed within the division, or you can discuss it with me here. We will sort it out here.
Hello, sir.
Dr. Paul.
Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, please. Please identify yourself.
Am I allowed to talk, sir?
Shaheen sir, go ahead.
Please.
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, respected Dean, I would like to say that this issue of allotting PG students to the staff members, whether they are working in clinics or in the division, it is absolutely an internal issue. It should not be discussed there. It is up to the head of the division and the staff members why they'll allot and to whom they will allot. This issue should not be discussed there.
I second your opinion.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
I want to interact.
One by one, please. Dr. Zahur, please organize.
One by one, please. One by one.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Sabia Qureshi. Am I audible?
Who is there? Please introduce.
Dr. Sabia Qureshi.
Sabia Qureshi. Okay, go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. I have to ask, is there a rule for in the RRI that for a PhD student, we have to seek his opinion related to the allotment of guide? Does he want a particular guide? Or as far as I know, when we go outside, there is a rule that the student can write his area of interest, and accordingly the guide will be allotted. Means some is interested in, from my point of view, vaccinology, he will be appointed an expert in that only. But do we have a rule to identify a person out of the faculty members who he wants to guide as a guide? I don't think there should be, there is a rule, because we should not identify the person, we should identify the area of the research. There, firstly, I think there is no such rule of identifying for a PhD candidate. If at all, there should be area of interest or not the person, because because in this sometimes what happens ki some faculty members are excluded directly, and it hurts the ego of many faculty members, which I have myself seen, because somebody writes all the time my name, does not write others' name. It hurts. There, it should be clear. Is it a rule that the member should be identified or area of interest should be identified? I don't know anything about that.
Dr. Sabia, I would like to reply to your question that in the statutes of the university it is mentioned that only an associate professor can guide a PhD scholar who has already guided at least 2 PhD students. This rule exists.
Sir, that I know. That I know. That no, I am asking about the opinion of the student. When we ask the opinion of the student related to allotment of the guide at PhD level, is it the person to be identified or the area of the interest? What does the rule say?
Dr. Sabia, I have one submission over. My humble submission is there that even Professor Abdul Majid Ganai has also raised a very relevant situation where he is fixed what to do. So I will narrate my story over here. When I got admission in NDRI for my PhD, there is a rule that you will have to give in writing what is your area of research. Okay.
Exactly that which I also did in my PhD.
They will have they have a list there. That list is out, that this teacher will be guiding in this area, this teacher will be guiding in this area, right? So in that was the one thing. Now the second question comes. Now me and one more student was there, and both of us were having the same area of interest. Okay, research. Okay, and the teacher, we all both students opted for one teacher, which was expert in that area. Then there was a clash. Now how they resolved it? They said that on the basis of this OGP of candidate, applicant, as on the basis of the applicant, OGP of the applicant, the teacher which was ranked first there in the list for that particular area, he was given to my other colleague. He was having good, academic standing than me. Then I was given other that was standing second in that particular area. So that is over there. This can be taken as a model. I think so.
Sir, my query had, do we have such rule in place?
It's not a rule. You have to just take this as a model.
And it becomes an excuse. At times you are made to hurt student and us good kind of colors going. So chuvana each god of pet kum karna bahak name is under kum karit. Is this the way of opinion asking?
That is different issue. I'll just cut it short. Hello. Hello. One moment. We may cut the discussion short, please. Hello.
Yes, sir.
This is absolutely internal matter. This is absolutely internal matter. The RRI are clear about it. It has to be done by the head of the division in consultation with the faculty members of the division. And additionally, you may take into cognizance the interest of the student. That's all. Please go to next.
First point here is resolved that it should go to the faculty of veterinary.
No, it's not required to. It's not required. It's not required to. It's already there. It's inbuilt. The rule is inbuilt. The head of the division in consultation with the
not this, sir. What is the placement of scientists of the veterinary clinics complex?
Yes, that has to go.
It has to be copied.
It has to go.
Dr. Sir, may I interact just for a minute?
Please, sir, please.
I have joined late because of some problem in the clinics, and now this internet is also creating problems for me. But you might have already resolved this, but that slide coming on the this monitor indicates rotation. You might have already resolved, but just for my information, kindly make me aware related to clinics that our teachers have been given students as major advisors by medicine as well as gynae divisions. But surgery people are getting,
That's how you are white.
Hello.
Your voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Fazli, may I? Are you? Hello. Are you there? Am I audible to you, please? Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
No, Dr. Fazli, I am addressing.
He is not there. He is not audible.
Dr. Paul,
his point is that PG students must be allotted the second part of it. The B part of the Dr. Tufani's B part of the agenda is that PG students must be allotted to the scientists. Dr. Yeah, one moment. Let me finish first. Dr. Mujib says that the students have been allotted to veterinary and scientists by the medicine department, by the gynecology department, but not by the surgery department. This thing I have discussed with the head division, Dr. Magdumi, this particular aspect that you are not assigning the students to the VCC surgery discipline scientists. So he gave his reason that I have already, say for instance, 2 students, we have 4 scientists over there. It has to be allotted. Simultaneously, the problem of having this APR score other components. For instance, the number of cases he is attending. So he says that my teachers do not attend the cases as much as VCC does. So in that case,
number of extension camps. How many people do at extension camps?
Anyway,
our students and Dr. Fazli should not forget that Dr. Abrar Gayas was the last student given to him at the time when we had 4 students.
Anyway, this is the question.
So I think this was the forum to discuss such things.
who should get the
Dr.
student?
Maulvi, Dr. Maulvi,
Should we purchase them from the
Dr.
market?
Maulvi, not by Dr. Maulvi.
Kindly.
I was the
Dr.
part of the
Maulvi,
system. I was the part of the system. You should not forget. We were 4 teachers, 4 students were there. We gave you the student.
Well
You
taken.
have
Well
more
taken.
students than me till date.
Well taken, Dr. Makhdoom.
How did you take that? How did you guide
Well taken, Dr.
the
Makhdoom.
students?
One
When
moment.
professor was retired, what do you forget? Why are you keeping this time?
Professor Makhdoom, please be patient. Please be patient. This is not the
No, why? Let me talk. Let me talk the facts.
Dr. Zohar,
It's
Dr. Zohar,
okay.
Dr.
We
Zohar.
don't have so much time to have the facts.
Please,
over
please
here.
ask everybody to address the chair.
don't
Please ask
mislead the house.
everybody to address the chair. Don't make
Once
side
Dr.
discussion
Paul,
with
one
each other.
student will
Please
guide.
ask
Once
everybody to address the
One
chair and
moment,
let the
please.
chair
Dr.
take the
Dr.
decision.
Paul, one student
Otherwise, it
Paul
will
will
drag
give
on
you.
very
We
long.
cannot purchase students from the market and give
I
them.
think it is better to, if we address to the chair and each chair will take the lead and he
Everybody
will
is
allow
addressing
whom to talk,
here.
whom not to
Nobody
talk.
is
Otherwise, it will
talking.
drag along.
Yeah, please order in the house kindly.
Dr. Paul, I have a submission. Once we get 4 students, they will get 1.
Well
And
taken.
one student
I have
leave in
discussed.
between,
I have
why
discussed it
should
with you.
get the
I have discussed it with you. I have communicated the same feelings
Thank
of
you very
first
much.
Dr.
Thank you
Mujib
very much.
Fazli, but he has certain genuine reasons to pose his point right here. That he doesn't have the students allotted to his scientists of the division. So they are at the suffering end. They are at
Dr. Paul, just
for instance, Dr. Shahid has not received the single student for the last 7 years.
Dr.
So
Paul,
he-
you see the incumbency of the students that have taken admission.
That is
And how many
that I have
students
discussed.
are
That I have
left
discussed
without
with you. That I know. That I have discussed with you. But
Yes,
we'll take
how
it
many
separately.
students left without degree?
That
There
will
are
take separately.
students who left in 3rd year without MESc.
Dr.
Was it
Makhdoom,
was
will take a
discussed?
separate meeting. We'll take a separate meeting of the clinical divisions separately.
I told
I'll
you,
take
I can
a
say
separate meeting.
again.
Should
I
I
had already planned. I had previously planned. One moment. Let me
Allot
speak,
students
please.
only
One
once
moment.
they come.
Kindly listen.
Once they complete
I had,
degree, we will
I, had,
allot. No
I
issue.
had previously planned to have a meeting with the clinical divisions, but unfortunately that meeting could not materialize. So we will have a separate meeting of the clinical divisions and we'll discuss.
Instead,
Try
tell
to
him,
get it.
don't give the exist, Dr. Paul. Division should get existence. A surgeon is only surgeon once he does surgery in the division. Once he does radiology.
Okay, will not extend it too much. Please go to next.
These things have got to be materialized.
So this rotational placement of the scientists will go to the faculty.
Because my teachers
One
are
moment, please. Let us please complete.
There is one more point. That's the agenda item is regarding the adoption of MSc degree course FVSc&AH regulations 2016. So adoption of visa regulations 16 have already been in principle agreed by the Honorable Vice Chancellor Cost K from 2016 batch and is being observed by the faculty from this batch. However, it was desired by the VC that formal adoption of these regulations need to be routed through the Board of Studies. The agenda is presented for deliberations examination vis-a-vis VCI 2008. This is the agenda item from the Dean office. So it is there for the deliberations, please. Probably there should be no, any confrontation with this. We are already in this field.
We are already following
all this. We are already following these regulations, and probably there should be no hesitation. No question from anybody.
I have perused the last 3 years academic council minutes. There is not the confirmation of the proposal for implementation of the 2016.
We have already adopted it.
We have adopted, but there is no formal.
No, it has been gone from the Board of Studies. I suppose it's 21st Board of Studies. Then we have adopted in Board of Faculty, and then 36th. It's I suppose in before 2015. We have adopted this academic council 2015 and adapted it, and then we started from 2016 this course.
There is
I think
there is no formal ratification. I have gone through.
But university has
39, 35, 34.
Yeah,
There
has gone to university. It has gone from Board of Studies. You kindly verify.
It has gone. It has gone in 39. Also, we have 3 items related to 2016 visa regulations. But formal ratification has not been done.
Okay, that's good. But I enquired, sir. I have a submission, sir. Chairman, sir. I have a submission. I enquired from the Deputy Registrar, Mr. Parvez Ahmed, who informed me that it stands already approved, and that is why they have included it in the RRI.
And that also the notification has been also issued in this regard.
There is no notification.
Yeah, notification has been issued. That is why it's a part of new RRI. You see that RRI, modified RRI, there they have replaced it. They have replaced it 2008. The new RRI, they have replaced it 2008 with 2016 VCI.
Why is that?
The new RRI, which has been published recently by
formal ratification in the academic council has not been done so far.
Okay.
There are several subsequent.
Anyway, it can be.
There's no problem.
Get the formal approval of this.
That's what I mean. That's what I want.
Yeah.
There are in RRI. There are new RRI which have not been released as such.
Maybe we are following it on the verbal directives only of the Honorable Vice Chancellor, and let us
formal ratification.
Let us get it formally approved.
That's right. Is that? Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Pampuri. It is, I suppose, accepted.
Okay, should I go ahead?
Yeah, please ask any questions about it. Any doubts about it? Should we go to the academic council for formal ratification first, the faculty, and then academic council for formal ratification of the VCI regulation 2016?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay,
fine.
Okay, sir.
So one more agenda, that's from Professor Mujib Fazli, HOD VCC. See, posting of one associate professor, internship and entrepreneurship, posting of one biochemist, establishment of canteen, free accommodation to scientists of clinical divisions residing in campus, establishment of one paraveterinary SUKU. These are five points raised by Professor Mujib Fazli for deliberations in this meeting. So it's open to the House now for deliberations, please.
Yeah.
Dr. Saab, I have one request.
Yeah, please.
My internet is creating problems for me. If you can defer it, I'll come to your office and then deliberate from there. If you can defer this till I reach to your office.
You're very much audible, sir. You're very much audible. Please go ahead.
It gets disconnected all of a sudden. I did not hear last what Magdumi Saab was telling. Also, I did not hear much. It's getting disconnected. It's getting disconnected off and on to me.
You are heard, Dr. Fazli, you are heard.
Okay. Then I'll just, sir, this is, I'll continue. If it, we have adopted VCI 16. As per that VCI, we'll have to have one associate professor internship in the clinics. And already our batch is near, they may be joining internship within a few months. But till we had taken it last time also, nothing has happened. Now this internship will be for 1 year complete and he has to be full-time. He has full-time job. Now this is a different internship than we had earlier. Now he has to arrange their program in other colleges. Now the entrepreneurship project they have, till now we are only asking them to prepare a project. Now they will have to undergo entrepreneurship projects within that 1 year. So it is a huge task for that scientist. So one associate professor is immediately needed for internship. Otherwise we'll develop crisis. They come to us within 2 or 3 months.
Yes, I second your opinion.
Yeah, and then second, that is posting of one biochemist is also as per VCI 16. Our clinical lab has to be active. Our students, they have to, a biochemist has to be placed in the clinics who will teach the students the collection of samples, then analysis. Our lab is completely closed. We had one scientist who was from medicine. I had placed him there. He was doing extra job in addition to medicine. He was doing clinical work. But he left this place. And then we had one contractual. He is also not with us. Our clinical lab is completely closed. So last time we raised this point in the academic council, and then it was decided that people from biochemistry and pathology will visit on rotation. That experiment failed. For 2 semesters they came, but they did not do anything here. They did not do what they were supposed to do. They used to come and sit for half an hour and go. So practically only responsibility is shared by teachers who are posted in a division. Otherwise it does not help us much. So we need a biochemist so that our clinical laboratory becomes functional. Then again, a canteen has to be here now. Now we are having 5 or 6 divisions here. Students of 3rd year, 4th year, and spending most of their time here farmers are coming with their animals, and as per VCI 16, a canteen has to be there. Then as per VCI, we should have at least 10 cases indoor per month. Since we don't have indoor facilities as yet, we don't have staff as yet, but we are requesting our scientists who are already residing here to help us in cases come in on holidays or on off times, but they are not being given any incentive. So it becomes difficult for us to again and again say them, you handle the cases during night hours or during the off hours. So it's imperative that we should be giving some incentive to them. And then last, am I
very much audible, sir? Very much audible.
Are audible.
Last point I want to it is establishment of paramedic school. For that, I mentioned just there are 10 points that I have in favor of this paramedic school. I'll just read out because I know that your time is precious. I don't want to waste your time. The veterinary profession, like medical profession, has broadly two important components: veterinarians and paraveterinarians. In order to provide quality animal health services to the public, both the components need to progress side. The significance of delivering quality services using modern procedures and gadgets has increased many folds during the recent past due to several reasons, including rearing of high-yielding, valuable animals by more and more farmers, and the educated youth showing more interest in the animal food production ventures, and easy availability of the scientific information via internet access to everybody. Now, point number second, the availability of quality veterinarians. Earlier we had 3 diploma graduates in animal husbandry. Then it was progressed to 4 years degree course, then 5 years. Now we have 5.5 years FVSc&AH. And veterinarians with specialization, MBSc and PhD, are all available in the field now. To cater the urgent needs of para-veterinarians in the Department of Animal Husbandry and Sheep Husbandry, the training of senior most aged matriculate, mostly with Adibar, they have passed matriculation during floods of 90s. Are given that training for 1 year. This was started as a contingency plan by the department several decades ago. That continues till date. Number point 3, training of candidates within the departments with little or no practical exposure to the modern disease diagnostic and treatment facilities and with no academic mandate does not produce para-veterinarians whose diploma could be certified by any competent authority. Their diploma is not certified by any competent authority. Although within the departments, they generally are technically not qualified enough to render services as veterinary pharmacists or laboratory assistants. 400 recently created para-veterinary not be filled on fast track due to non-availability of qualified veterinary pharmacists. Approximately 600 posts are currently vacant in the field departments. Point number 5, almost all vets and paravets working in animal husbandry department and more than 75% working in sheep husbandry department are engaged in animal disease treatment. As per the drug controllers guidelines, pharmacists with 2 years diploma from a recognized institute and specific registration number only can store or dispense drugs. Ironically, we also don't have even one such employee in VCC or livestock farms. Point number 7, production of certificate courses like barefoot doctors, 6-month or 1-year courses advocated currently will only add to quackery. Paravet Association of Animal Husbandry Department has requested government to increase the eligibility from matric to 10+2 with medical subjects and training duration of 2 years and diploma that could be recognized outside their own departments also. Point number 9, the job profile of veterinarians and paraveterinarians don't match. Therefore, the availability of paravets will not increase competition for vets. Thousands of unemployed medicos don't stress that paramedical courses should not be conducted. Point number 10, veterinary pharmacists in neighboring states should essentially have 2 years of diploma. They have already stated that it should be 2 years diploma. In my opinion, the problem of acute shortage of qualified paravets should be addressed without further delay by establishing one paraveterinary school, where in the beginning at least two-year diploma courses of veterinary pharmacists and veterinary laboratory assistants be started. The eligibility of selection should be 10+2 with medical subjects. Delay in establishing the school will pave a the people from outside the UT to occupy all the vacancies advertised hereafter. Private parties with minimal facilities as compared to the university may also plunge into and produce paravets of less than the required quality. Thank you very much.
The agenda is open for discussion, please, point wise. If anybody has to substantiate.
Yes, can I have a point in this regard?
One by one, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible? Well, can I put my point? Supplementing what Dr. Mardi has put up for establishment of paraveterinary school.
Mic closer, please.
Am I audible?
Yeah, it's echoing.
Voice not clear.
It's not clearly audible.
It is not audible.
Yes, I come
I would like to add. Hello.
One moment, please. One more. He's changing.
Hello. I hope by now I must be audible.
Yeah, it's not.
Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is much audible.
Can I put my point now?
Yes, sir.
Fine. As far as the paraveterinary personnel are concerned, as of now, the practice in vogue is that the senior most animal attendants are imparted some sort of, I could call it informal training to become paravets. By the time they qualify paraveterinary course, they remain very close to their retirement, and practically been experiencing it over the years that they really don't contribute anything to us, because by that time they are not able to contribute. They are either aged or they lose interest by that time. Number one. Number two, most of the animal attendants at entry level are practically illiterate. They either have very little qualification and they really don't understand science. We have been experiencing in our clinics particularly, it is the teacher, it's the scientist who faces all the brunt, because in absence of qualified effective paravets, the scientists have to do their job. We practically don't have any contribution from that line because they are not enough qualified and they are not technically that sound as to contribute to the service they are posted for. Number one. Number two, we have seen that many people from our place, they go for training in paraveterinary sciences to some institute in Chandigarh or else, because we don't have a facility here. And the selection procedure for the paraveterinary school in our state run paraveterinary school is also same as we have here, that they recruit these departmental class 4 employees and then they train them there. They too don't have a formal curriculum for them, which could make them capable of delivering as paravets. So under such circumstances, I believe we need to have a paraveterinary school wherein the selection process is on a competitive examination as we have for other courses, so that those who are competent enough to understand this science will only get entry into it. Number two, we will have a curriculum which will train them to the extent where they become effective and useful to the society. Particularly, it will certainly on the clinical services in our university as well. So last time also we had an attempt for this purpose, but unfortunately that didn't go through. I think we need to plead vehemently this time for establishment of a paraveterinary school in our university. I don't think there will be much financial implication of this proposal, because we already have a system in place, we have a clinic in place. So a little additional fortification will be required for establishing a paraveterinary school, and we can begin with mobilizing the available resources on day. Thank you very much.
Anybody else, please?
Sir, paraveterinary school is okay, but so far as the veterinary pharmacist training of any type, we are not eligible. We don't have eligible faculty over here. for that, because it is to be approved by the Pharmacy Council of India. And they are telling that the qualification of the teacher should be B Pharmacy, M Pharmacy, and B Pharma, which we don't have. So we can start with the paraveterinary school where different subjects may be included like surgery, medicine, and pharmacology, clinical biochemistry, a little bit of that can be framed up. But so far as the full-fledged courses of pharmacy are concerned, we are not in.
Correct. Just. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Actually, the field in animal husbandry department. Am I audible?
Hello.
Hello.
The voice is choppy.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Isso não é problema. Sugia se tu balai antes.
Eu sempre
Daí, guys. Não tem problema.
Hello.
Inshallah.
Hello.
Hello. يلا. يا تو هاتت. طيب هم جاي كوجا جاي. ها؟
Hello. Hello, Dr. Zahur, am I audible, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll just conclude. If somebody has to say, you may speak later on. Yeah, please. Posting of an associate professor internship very much to be taken to the faculty. It is very much required. Posting of one biochemistry, I suppose, is not justifiable because we have a biochemistry lab, full-fledged lab. We can send the samples over there, and it has to be internally managed. Biochemistry, clinical biochemistry has to be internally managed. Whatever is the sanctioned positions over there, it has to be managed by one of the scientists, as Dr. Noor Alam Tufani was doing. Then, as canteen, we can do it here ourselves. It's not to be taken to faculty and then academic council. We can do it here only. It's already basically this is sub judice. We have the clinical complex, this shopping complex over there. I was today itself talking to one of the writ petitioners. So he is ready to withdraw that writ petition. So he has given the representation. That also will be solved here only internally. Establishment of the canteen will be done internally. And then free accommodation to the scientists very much will take up this issue to the academic council via the faculty. Establishment of one para-veterinary school is highly recommended from our side. So I support it fully. And if anybody has to say anything about this, because we have right now 400 posts lying vacant in the government department. Previously 800 posts were there, 400 for veterinarians and 400 for para-veterinarians. So 400 para-veterinarians could not be filled simply for want of the qualification. So for that purpose, this is the establishment of the para-veterinary school is of high importance and very much required. So I would definitely second this particular establishment of para-veterinary school in our Faculty of Veterinary Sciences. If anybody has to speak anything about this, please go ahead.
Sir, I want to draw attention over here, sir, to my this one-year internship program for compulsory entrepreneurship training program. You see, it has already been resolved there by the academic council. Why to go again to the academic council? That the house further resolved that the faculty of the supervision of the internship program shall be provided through the internal adjustment of the existing faculty. Why would you go again there? Why would you go for the academic council again?
We will do it here only.
It will be done there. It is your, jurisdiction. You will have to have that.
We have the approval of the academic council. We can do it internally.
So there is no need to put this. Only one that's establishment of para-veterinary school. That's the only item I think that will go to the board of veterinary.
Yeah, that's right.
Rest all can be managed here itself.
Of course, yes. Of course.
No, I suppose another thing is that the Veterinary Council of India Act has now been extended to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. In view of that, we have to see also these things. That now the university has to adapt all things whatever are there
It's already adapted.
required in the whatever are there in the regulation, they are to be adopted in both
We have to have only the formal ratification by the academic council. Otherwise, it's already adopted.
It is already adopted.
Formal, it has to be documented also. It has to be in black and white. So for ratification by the academic council, it has to go there via faculty.
Yes, sir. We cannot deny, sir, this posting of one etc. because this is in the minimum standards of veterinary
It
health.
is ratified by the academic council. We can do internal adjustments for that. Posting of one biochemist, again, it can be adjusted. Establishment of canteen, we can do it here. Free accommodation, I'll send a separate proposal to Vice Chancellor. Or else, if you wish, if you say that it has to go to faculty and then academic council, I suppose it is beyond the scope.
Since this is not an academic matter, we can here solve it.
That's the
Free accommodation.
It may not be considered there because it is beyond the scope of the academic council. So we can send a separate proposal for this to the Vice Chancellor.
Dr. Paul, I
Yeah.
may intervene in between.
Pardon?
I may have a suggestion. Here.
Yeah, please.
It is not only the matter that we should provide incentive to the clinical staff as free accommodation, but instead there has got to be a provision of roster leave. That has got to be seen that we give the roster leave those who attend on working days, on Sundays, because we don't pay any extra remuneration to them. So that's why we have to have a roster leave. That's why they like to come.
Yeah, that we can do. We can do internally that.
That has to be addressed.
Yeah, we can do. I told you earlier also that I wanted to have a meeting with the clinical to thrash out these points only. Dr. Mujib cited several points.
And Dr. Paul, one more thing about the sit-off training college, this Paravet college. If your house is fully satisfied, if every member of our faculty is of the opinion it should happen, then only go to the Shalimar with this thing. Otherwise, we had a very bitter experience last time.
Everybody has
two houses passed the Dairy Science College, and it was aborted with 2 vices in the Shalimar. That thing should not happen.
It was never aborted. It was already through.
Yes, no.
It got approved also.
Dr. Paul, we had done it in our.
Please, let me inform you. The Dairy Science College proposal was given by me alone to Dr. Tav. He went to the Board of Management. Board of Management gave it approval also, but he said it has to be carved out of the existing faculty, which he did not agree to.
Which he did not agree to. So
Dr. did not agree.
I remember once it was discussed in the last.
Anyway, this is out of the discussion. I suppose out of the scope of the discussion.
But we have to.
But we'll do this. Establishment of paraveterinary school is highly required. It's highly of high significance. It has to be established. So we have to support this.
Yes.
Any other point?
Any other point from the house, please? Yes. Any other agenda item from the audience, please?
Am I audible to everybody, sir?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Sir, I have a request to the Dean, sir, regarding the rationalization of the allotment of the staff member to guide as Dean PG equally. Because some of the staff members having countless students and some are still waiting since years for the same.
We'll do that internally, inshallah.
Please, sir.
We'll have an internal meeting. We'll try that out.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
If anybody has anything, any other agenda to discuss, please go ahead. And if there is no point to be discussed right now, Dr. Zoor, I would request you to please frame the minutes right now and pass it on to Dr. Shakur for today's meeting, tomorrow's meeting.
Inshallah, hopefully, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bless you all.
Should we end the meeting, sir?
Yeah, please.
Oh, yes.
It is thanks to all.
Thanks from my side also.
So I think it's time to thank you all. You have spared your time over here, and we are just. I think healthy discussions were there, and we have concluded with few of the agenda items that to be carried to the Board of Veterinary Sciences. Hopefully, I will drop those meetings soon in the evening. Professor Shukr will get it hopefully in the evening, because just now I am having a lecture from USA. So after that, I will just pen it down and I will send to you. Till then, I wish all you safe and sound physique. And our dean is he is enjoying his tea this time. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Sir, go ahead with your tea, please. We are taking tea for here.
Yes. Our dean is now completely safe, even in presence of infection.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Allah bless you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you.